and welcome to Cusack's Lighting and Interiors Dublin Road Cavan for the launch of their Autumn Winter Showcase. We're going to be featuring some of their newest brands here in store, and we're going to be speaking to some of Ireland's most well-known interiors influencers. So come and check the store out with me. We are now joined by Caoimhe from the Big Hill House here in Cusack's Lighting. Caoimhe, woo! You're very welcome.
Yay!
Welcome back. Caoimhe, we spoke earlier on in the year, and your account is just so beautiful. I love following you online, but what I love the most about your home account is your positivity, everything that you bring to your page. You're like a little bit of everything sprinkled into one. But tell us a little bit about Big Hill House.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. It started out as documenting the self-build journey over 4 years ago now, and I just woke up this morning to 100,000 followers. So
wow! Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's a massive milestone. Congratulations!
Thank you.
Like, I suppose for people following who don't realise, that is a huge number to get. All them eyes watching your everyday life, everything you're doing. You bring a lot of positivity through your stories online and through your home, and I think it just draws people in, and you've kind of got just a different angle that's quite unique, I think, to what we kind of see time and time again on Instagram.
Yeah, so it started out being just documenting the build, and then because I have children, they gradually came into it, and then now it's just a whole mixed bag of everything I love, so it's just an extension of my life basically. So fashion, beauty, interiors, fitness, women's health, raising awareness for chronic heart disease, because our second son was born with a heart disorder, so I've been able to raise awareness on the page for that as well. So it's just a whole mixed bag, and it's lots of fun.
Wow, so you've so much there, so you're really tapping into, I suppose, a huge audience of followers and people who want to, I suppose, delve into your life and follow you, and I suppose get a little bit of inspiration while they're at it. So tell me a little bit about your recent event at the Ideal Homes with, I love Hugh Wallace. Oh, I love him. He's fantastic.
I got to get into bed with Hugh.
I know, I love that. Okay, so if you haven't checked Caoimhe's page out, you've got to see the footage of that, because it's really funny, but he seems like really good fun, and he's good-humoured.
The Ideal Home Show was with DFS, so I got to design a bedroom using DFS furniture at the Ideal Home Show in Dublin, and it was through O'Carroll Consult, and it was a brilliant couple of days just to be involved right from behind the scenes up until the full 3 days. I think there was over 100,000 people went through the RDS that weekend. Wow. So and then Hugh was there on the Friday and the Saturday, and he's great fun. So will you be jumping into bed with him again?
But tell me, Caoimhe, your home is very stylish, but you are very stylish, and you do like the best let's get dressed.
Fancy
Fridays. The Fancy Fridays are just so much fun to watch, but you're stunning, and I think you could put a black bin bag on and make it look amazing. You're working with loads of different, brands online. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I've got over the 4 years, I've gotten the opportunity to work with small businesses, especially within Ireland. So it's great because, especially during COVID, everything closed down, and then small businesses were forced to look at other avenues to get their product out there. So Instagram is a brilliant tool for advertising for smaller businesses, and I think any small business that will embrace Instagram and using the likes of the home interiors pages or the fashion pages or the beauty pages to get their products out there, it's access to a massive audience that they otherwise wouldn't have.
Yeah. So tell me, you share a lot of positives and your experiences for women's health, but what is next for Big Hill House?
I have no idea.
what can we
100,000 followers
expect?
is a huge milestone. So
Yes.
Christmas is coming up, really busy time in the house with the kids. Santa's coming, and in January then I'm going to sit down and reassess and figure out which direction I'm going to take the page.
No,
So,
fantastic. Well, look, congratulations on hitting
you.
100k followers. It's incredible and a great achievement, but hard work has really paid off. So, Quiva, we really wish you the best. And thank you so much for joining us here in Cusack's Lighting and Interiors.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Louise.
I'm delighted to be joined by Ranjit Elliott, Una Elliott and Rosie Baker here to talk to us about the annual ladies' lunch that is taking place in Farnham Estate next Saturday the 11th of November in Cavan. So ladies, thank you so much for joining us here in Cusack's Lighting today. Tell us about your event because it's for a great charity. Ranjit.
So our charity event, it's the 7th annual ladies' lunch and we're raising money for Q and cancer support. We have 249 ladies attending and we have so many ladies on a waiting list waiting to get on. So sorry
Everybody
for
wants to go,
sorry for all the ladies who aren't with us, but hopefully next year they will be. This year we're concentrating more on raising money for the building that Cancer Q want to buy. They need 120,000, so our aim for Saturday is to raise 30,000 plus.
Wow, so it's a big ask, but you've got like a great team around you, and as you're saying, the tickets go like hotcakes, so they're
Literally
gone
in days.
But people can still donate. So even though you might have got your hands on a ticket, I suppose it's important that people can still donate to the charity. Una, tell us a little bit about what's happening on the day. What can we get excited about?
So today it's going to be so much fun. We start off with a Prosecco reception at 1 o'clock. And then after that we have a fashion show for 5 local boutiques, men and women, so something for everyone. You can get your Christmas gifts inspiration from the fashion show. And we also have stalls there where if you want to pick up a few bits and bobs, very nice in the lobby. And then after that we have an amazing band called Spring Break.
Oh my God.
Somebody should look them up on Instagram. They're really, really good. So, and after that we have a DJ. So you can party on till all hours of the night. Yeah.
Sounds great. I wonder, can we gate crash at? Maybe we'll try. It sounds brilliant. And Rosie, tell us a little bit about the raffle. I'm sure you've had lots of business come on board to support.
We've had a huge amount of support. Every nearly business in Cavan Town. We have still people actually just seeing our Instagram posts who have already donated or who haven't donated and are offering gifts. Our raffle works very well for us, and it's actually a huge part of fundraising on the day. It's all completely anonymous. We leave envelopes on the table. People make donations, any amount, whatever people can afford, and then we put the tickets into a raffle box and we pick them out. We've had a huge amount of support. The Farnham Estate is actually one of our main sponsors.
Yes, absolutely.
They're one of the first prizes in the raffle. They've given us, some lucky person would have a night in the Farnham Estate with some spa treatments and dinner, bed and breakfast. So lovely prizes. But we've had a huge amount of people supporting us. We're delighted, actually, to be fair.
And if anyone wants to contact us, they can direct message us on Instagram at Our Ladies Lunch. Oh, sorry, it's at Annual Ladies Lunch.
It's our Instagram
Or
page.
Facebook, yeah.
An annual ladies' lunch. Oh, fantastic. Rosie, Una, Ranjit, the very best of luck. So you've heard it here. The annual ladies' lunch is taking place next Saturday, the 11th of November, in the Farnham Estate in Cavan. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
ladies.
Thank you.
We are now joined by Frida from Self-Build Rth Mullen. So Frida, thank you so much for joining us here at Cusack's Lighting and Interiors for their launch. It's fantastic.
Brilliant.
We spoke earlier on about your stunning home in the most picturesque part of beautiful Donegal. Tell us about your gorgeous home.
Yeah, so we live in Rth Mullen, which is a seaside town in Donegal along the Wild Atlantic Way. So we built there, we started to self-build in 2018. And we finally moved in. We'll be 2 years moved in now in December. We also had a baby 2 years ago, so we moved in and had a baby within the same month. So at the minute we are still trying to finish bits of the inside of the house, so hence we're here for a visit.
Yeah, to see what you can pick up along the way.
Yeah.
You're saying here, this is a beautiful store and it's got so much to offer and lots of great ideas to help finish your home and with lighting, interiors, you name it. Is there any particular room you're kind of focusing on in the home at the moment?
I suppose lighting is a big thing for us. It's something we left kind of last minute. So I've been in contact with Shauna here about finishing different rooms. So our master bedroom and our walk-in wardrobe is the two that we're focusing on today. So trying to find lighting for those.
Yeah.
We just received our hall lighting and landing lighting recently from Cusack. So yeah, this is
lovely.
another room done, hopefully, or nearly done. Yeah.
So you've got a baby on the way as well, and
Yes.
so you're going to be busy with 2 under 2.
Yes, well, Tommy will be 2 now at the end of November, and baby is due start of December.
How do you keep your home looking so immaculate, or how do you, when you pick up all them lovely pieces, how do you keep it safe, basically?
I put them up high. I try, and anything that I buy, the house is definitely not finished and won't be finished for years. It's our home.
Yeah.
I don't want to have things in it that Tommy will destroy, but at the same time, I want him to enjoy every aspect of his home. So I buy what I know he can't wreck or try to wreck, and the rest I'll get in time. So lighting's a good place to start because you definitely won't get at it at the minute.
Yeah,
so.
that is a good idea.
Yeah.
Tell me, Frida, are you thinking of doing like Airbnb? Could we come for like a stay or a sleepover? Because it's going to be so hard to get a place to stay in Donegal.
I know, and we're actually on the Wild Atlantic Way, so we would do really well. But I had thought about doing the garage into a nice Airbnb, but my husband transformed it into a gym during COVID, and it has remained like that. So who knows, down the line I might get the garage back and do a wee Airbnb, but who
Brilliant.
knows.
Sounds good to me. Okay,
You can come anytime,
you've
if you
heard
want.
it there. Okay, myself and Brian and all the team at Cavan TV, we're heading to Donegal to Rth Mullen.
Yes,
House.
anytime.
Brilliant. Thanks a million
No
to
problem.
Frida, and check out her Instagram account self-build Rth Mullen. I'm now joined by Ciara from Barn, Loft and Me, which is a beautiful Instagram account documenting your barn conversion, restoration. Ciara, tell us about this journey that you found yourself on in this beautiful barn that you were restoring and bringing back to life.
Yeah, so I originally started in December 17, and I suppose I started with going for plans. So I hired an engineer and an architect, and I suppose that kind of lasted about 3 years really. So the first big hurdle I suppose that I witnessed was my building is actually a listed building. Wow. So it's a protected structure. So originally it dates back to the 1830s, 1840s. So it's an old stone building, and yeah, so it took me about 3 years to get through planning. So then I started building around 2020, but of course then the hurdles of COVID hit as well.
You got stuck in the middle of all that.
Yeah, but I was lucky. I had a contractor, and I suppose he was interested in taking it on. He was from Sligo himself, and yeah, so that's kind of where it all stemmed from.
So you're from County Sligo, and was this on your family land? Is this?
Yeah, so it was an old farm building that's currently, it's kind of like a courtyard style. So my dad's home house is opposite it. So my grandparents would have lived there, so they were. And then the building, like originally my dad would have had planning permission on it maybe about 15 years ago, but with the recession and everything like that, I suppose things kind of fell through. So I always just loved it. I loved the stone, the limestone. I loved, just that it was close to my home house. It was stuck in the middle of the farm essentially, and I just took a liking to it. And I said, you know what, I may as well try and just do something, and it has connection to home. And Dad is always up and down. You could see him passing in the yard and everything
Which
like
is
that.
Lovely.
Yeah,
I'm sure your family loves seeing it kind of being brought back to life, and not to be a wreck and ruin like a lot of these old buildings. What kind of hurdles have you kind of encountered throughout the journey of like restoring an old barn?
So I suppose, like as I previously said, it's a listed building, so I was very restricted to the changes I could make to the building. So it has an original roof, and it was blue banger slates. So those had to go back on. A lot of the openings, the original window sizes, the door sizes, those couldn't be changed. Now there was one or two at the front I could, but for anyone that follows the page as well, they might see that I've little kind of vent slits, especially in the back of the building. So I had to keep those, and there was no openings at all in the back of the building, and that was something I couldn't change. It was kind of one of the restrictions with the planning permission. So I had to put kind of V-lugs into the roof. So I suppose for me that was the biggest challenge. And I suppose along with just having a normal architect and engineer, I also had to employ a conservation architect. So there was a lot of research and kind of background information that had to go into the house really.
And what do you look most excited about, you know, the whole restoration, and like what's the part you're enjoying the most now at this stage?
At this stage, I suppose it's more the interiors and kitting it out, you know, like I have the kitchen, the floors, the tiles, all of that, but it's just putting the little touches, the final touches, and kind of more so the homely touches really, you know, to just make it yours and kind of put your own little stamp on it. So that's kind of why I'm here today, just kind of looking for nice little bits that you can add, you know, along the journey, kind of, you know, little mementos as well, like that you can remember.
Exactly. Your account is beautiful, your home is beautiful, and what you're doing with it is so respectful to, you know, the building. And Ciara, wishing the best of luck.
Thanks,
with
your
your journey with this building and with your Instagram account. So check out Ciara on
Loft and Me.
Loft and Me. So I'm here with the beautiful Alana Kerrigan, who is formerly known for her Instagram account, Building Number 15. Alana, you've come all the way from Derry to join us here in Cavan for the autumn-winter launch for Cusack. So you're very, very welcome.
Thank you.
Is this your first time in Cavan?
I think so, yeah.
You're very welcome.
I'm afraid to say that.
We sent the sunshine today for you. But you've got a beautiful home account. Tell us when it started and what made you decide I'm going to, you know, dive into the world of Instagram and this whole world.
Well, I was always on Instagram from when it started, as I just had a personal account. And then myself and my husband decided to build a house. And during that time, I realised that there was a whole community of people who were sharing their self-builds and their interiors. And so I started following a few of them on my personal page first, and then realised that it was getting mixed in with everything else. So I made a dedicated page, which at the time was Building Number 15, and it was just to follow home accounts. And I didn't really plan on posting on it, if I'm honest. It was just to sort of watch what everybody else was doing. And then we were in lockdown in 2020, and we happened to be starting the build process at that time, and I think it just became a bit of a hobby then, sharing the progress of our build. And we have small children, and I thought, it'll be really nice for them when they grow up to look back and see the progress and see themselves when they're really small visiting the site. And we tried to share like tips and tricks along the way. My husband's an engineer.
Oh wow, that's handy.
Yeah, that was very handy. And I studied fashion design, but I kind of would have an eye for design in general. So we did our best with the self-build, and people seemed to enjoy following along. And then we moved in 2021. And since then, it's kind of evolved. Now we document the interior side of things as it happens, which is slower than I'd like. And then we are just I just post a wee bit more about like daily life now as well, and family. So that's why I changed my name.
Wow, fantastic. So when people go to your account, they can get a bit of everything, really. So it's as in you're growing, you're involving, as the page just kind of changed names, as you were saying.
Yeah, well, I do post the odd wee bit about fashion and beauty and all that, but mostly it's still about the house, and the progress that we're making in the house and the plans that we have for the house, and DIY. I'm getting into DIY at the moment because it tends to be a good affordable option.
Yes.
When you've spent the mortgage money, and also just adding wee bits. Like we're really into investment pieces as well when we are doing the house, so we're trying to do it slowly and do it well.
So when you're here today and you're looking around, what have you got your eye on, or what's your kind of style, would you say, that you want to kind of your overall look, or that you're creating for your home?
Our home it's quite a mixed the style. I don't really know how to describe the style. The home itself, like the building, is quite modern. We've got a lot of really big windows. We went for kind of like black window frames, and we've got a big open, like the hallway is like double height, and you've got a big central staircase and everything, so it's quite grand.
Oh, I love it.
So there are sort of within it some traditional elements as well. Like my kitchen, I've got a traditional shaker style kitchen, but I try and add a wee bit of personality through the use of colour. So when I come here, there's loads that I love. I'm in the middle of doing my daughter's room, and the playroom. So I've been keeping an eye out for pendant lights, and there's quite a few really beautiful.
They've got so
pendant
many
lights.
options.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like Aladdin's cave in here. It's very, very hard. You want everything.
But part of me would love to just build a new house that fits all these other things, because there's a lot of like really traditional styles as well that are gorgeous, but just wouldn't really fit with the sort of modern style of our home. But there's so much here, and sideboards as well. There's about 5 that I just want to take home.
So everything. So you really could kit your entire house out. Just come to Cusack's Lighting in Cavan.
I know.
What about your journey with the home? Are you like, is it based? Are you a country home? And do you like to take in elements of that, like in your styling, or even, you know, around the house in general?
Yeah, so we are based in the countryside. We've got a lot of big windows that look out onto the mountains. So I have, in terms of the colour palettes that I'm going for throughout the house, I tend to stick to kind of greens and blues and natural earthy colours, and bring the outside in. We've got a lot of natural wood tones in our house as well. Yeah. There's a lot of that here, which I'm loving. Yeah. I do think that when you're in a setting like that, you can't really ignore it, and you have to try and draw inspiration from it and bring it through the house.
You're embracing where your house is set and everything. Yeah. Your account is beautiful, and like that, you've got like you're very stylish, and you said you studied fashion, so obviously there's lots of elements of that, like filtering into the overall look. But Alana, thank you for taking time to speak to us, and best of luck. I know you've baby number 3 due very soon, and travel the whole way to Cavan, which is amazing. But so make sure to check out Alana Kerrigan on Instagram. Thank you so much, Alana, for talking to us.
Louise.
Thank you. Now joined by another Derry girl. This is Laura from Making a Home. Laura, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
And another beautiful lady to travel all the way from such a beautiful county is Derry. Yeah. But tell us about your home account and how it all started for you.
Yeah, well, during lockdown, I didn't even have an Instagram account before then, and I suppose we all needed a wee bit of something in lockdown, so I thought, let's see what this Instagram's about. Went on to Instagram and seen that there was a whole home account world, and thought, I could do this. We had built and moved into our house. We had done a self-build and moved into our house the year before. So I had already been doing my house up, and that's where the name comes from, Making a Home. Yeah. So I thought, let's take everybody along on the journey. So yeah, we started it then, and it just became a community for me, became an outlet, became something to share. It just became so much for me during that time.
Your account's a little bit different because during that time you kind of delved into sharing some ideas about DIY.
Yeah.
And tell us about that and how that exploded and how that kind of catapulted your kind of followers and got you to kind of where you are now.
Yeah, it was probably more second-hand finds. So I have always had such a love of old things. Old furniture is just, I just love how they age. I love every mark that comes with them. Like, I do like upcycling as well, but whenever I find a piece of furniture, there's a lot of times where I'll just keep it as it is because I think it's beautiful. It showed its journey a wee bit, and I like that. I really admire that. Yeah. And I realised that this was something different that people weren't actually doing a lot of, and this became a big thing in my account. So I started a second-hand Saturday, and on that I showed my finds. So I went on hunting and shared the finds and gave the links to people, so people started buying what I was sharing, and this became then like a series. What kind of
places were you sending them to? Like, are we talking about Marketplace or Dundee, that kind of thing?
Marketplace was a big area that people weren't really aware of at the time. You know, it was like a new thing. It's huge now. But at the time, people didn't realise that you could find these things on Marketplace. They didn't know that you had sections that you could go on to look for specific items, you know.
Oh, give me all the tips. Because I'm like, I need help here. I need
your filters and all. And once you start looking, that's all that comes up to you. Yeah. And the bargains you could get, like, people didn't realise the value of the items they were having. It's completely changed now. People do get that. But then it was just a big hit, you know, on a Saturday. I would have done my second-hand Saturday, put all the links up, if I didn't buy it first myself, put all the links up with it, and people started buying the stuff, and it just created like a community then. And like, you can see yourself now, second-hand finds is a complete thing. People love finding things, charity shops. You know, I shared all the things. If I went down to a charity shop, I would have done a wee charity shop haul and went down and shared how I would use things, you know,
which is great because I suppose at that point when you were kind of encouraging that, we were at that kind of, I suppose, crest of a wave where we're trying to encourage being more mindful about, you know, waste and reusing items and making...
It's cost saving too. People the thing was, Instagram, people seen these Instagrammable homes and they looked out of reach, you know, for people they looked out of reach, and I just wanted to show that that wasn't the case. Like I don't have this big grand house, and how you can do things within your own budget. Like I have the styles that you want, I have the items that you want. There's ways of doing it without having to break the bank, really.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing for me as well.
Sounds
you know,
brilliant. I love that. What's next for making a home? Where do you see it going now?
There's so much. Through making a home, I have actually took on clients. So I would do interior design with clients as well, and that's kind of overtaken my own home at this point. So when you're finished with that, sometimes it's hard to kind of focus on what you need to finish, but not one room in my home is finished, and this is 5 years down the line.
So I don't need to feel bad.
There's loads. Do you know what? I always say to people, it's a long time to build your home, because you have to feel it, you have to understand your own style, your own taste, what you want your spaces to do for you. Moving in and doing your house, it's a waste of money, because you'll do it, you'll want to change it, you'll realise that it's not for you. You followed a trend, or you followed a like that you've seen on Instagram, but it doesn't actually fit with you or your home. So I'm taking my time.
So you get clients, people come to you and say, help me to finish my home.
Yeah.
And a budget is set.
Yeah.
Every budget is
loads
kind
of different projects I've worked on. I've done complete renovations of a building from back to the 4 walls of the outer building, and rebuilt it inside, done the whole floor plan, electrical plan, kitchen design, everything. It could be as small as I have a spare bedroom that I need to finish. We're not knocking down the walls, but I need to do it. You know, can you do it? You know, so loads of different scale of projects. But it's been lovely.
That sounds great.
Been really good, because they're all different styles.
I need you in my life. I need her. I think to help me, because you know you just get to a point, then you just get stuck, and there's only so far you can go.
And Instagram can confuse you, because there's so much out there, and you kind of forget, right? Well, I like that, but what's my own taste?
Laura, like, what do you think of Cusack lighting? Like, I mean, there's so much here, but
it's amazing.
With your amazing eye, I mean, what have you got your eye on?
Everything. Like, I'm looking around going, and I have used Cusack lighting in my own home and for clients. It has every style. You won't fail. And here, you know, when you're looking for something, it's here. Like, even at the minute, I'm shopping for corridor lighting in my own home. And then I'm shopping for my son's room, and he really is modern, whereas I'm more of a classic traditional in the rest of the home. And I'm sorted. It's here, you know, and it's 2 completely different styles, but I have used it for clients' work as well, and I always get sorted. It never fails. I always get sorted, so I do, because it covers every style that you want.
And like Shauna and Niall and the team here, they just put such a beautiful displays together. Every time I come in here, I'm like, oh no,
there's so much.
There's more and more and more.
You have to go around a few times to take it in. But even like Shauna's really good. If I'm after something, she's been able to get it for me, even if it's not on the floor. She's been able to say, okay. So that's been great.
Yeah, which is so helpful in your kind of line of what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's just fabulous. And look, it's great to have you all here today. You know, showcasing and enjoying the beautiful showroom. But Laura, thank you so much for talking to us, and we will be sure to follow along. So thank you so much to Laura from Making a Home.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I am now joined by somebody who's just bought their very first home only a number of years ago. Aoife, all the way from Wexford, has a beautiful Instagram account, Potter and Burn. Aoife, you're very welcome to Cavan.
Thank you very much.
Your home account is something different, I suppose. A lot of people I've spoke to have like self-builds, but like myself, you've bought your home and you're trying to put your own stamp on it, which can be really, really difficult when you've got a certain style that you want to create. So tell us a little bit about your home and where it is based.
Yeah, so we're based in Wexford. We bought our home 2 years ago. I think it was nearing the end of lockdown. It was still very much lockdown when we moved in. So we were lucky. There was a bits of furniture and stuff left there, because we had to wait a long time before shops were back open, everything was back going. So we kind of started our DIY journey then because of that. I learned along the way that, you know, we can do it ourselves, and we can save a lot by doing it ourselves. So our account is really about, you know, if you get quoted this much, you can go and do it yourself for this much. Whether you have to rent machinery, little hints and hacks along the way of, you know, maybe you might order something on a bank holiday weekend because you get an extra free day. So things like that we've learned along the way that I'm just sharing with people to say, like, you know, you can do it for cheaper.
Yeah. Do you find a lot of people are buying their first homes now, and like that, you get your mortgage, but then it's, where is the money coming from?
But that's what we were like.
You know,
yeah,
to kind of kit the whole house out and to change it. What kind of repair, or what kind of state, say, was your house in when you first bought it? Like,
no, I mean, you could have moved in and lived the way it was. It was, you know, it was a beautiful home, but it just wasn't us. It was outdated, very dark, a lot of dark woods, you know, that orange terracotta tile.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, just very dark. So it's some of the rooms are north facing, so you did need to like brighten it up. I remember the kitchen being just, there was a tiny little piece of counter for us to cut our veg on. You couldn't fit a chopping board on it, and we were like, just can't wait to rip this apart and just get our stamp on it. So it was perfect. We was ready to move in, but we did want to make it our own, and that's really what we're trying to do.
Big changes that you had to make with it, like what was like, you know, there's no kind of discussion on this has to be done, and then everything else will just have to work around it. What was your kind of biggest kind of
there was actually
expenses?
The biggest one, I'd say, it was a battle between, do we start outside, but we said no, we live in Ireland, so we do want to tackle outside. That is the next stage. You know, the back garden is a big one we want to do, but it was the kitchen. It absolutely was. Like, if you saw the before and after.
Did you rip it out?
We ripped it out ourselves. We took up these tiles. We gained so much floor space. These terracotta tiles that were just really old, really huge. That they just had to go. Same with the utility. It just zapped all the light in the space, and it was black granite countertops. I mean, a beautiful, beautiful solid wood kitchen. It didn't function. It was too small for the space. Like, it was a big room with a tiny kitchen in the corner that way. So like, once that was done, we were just,
it changed
the whole feel of the home.
And then you changed something recently that I love. It's your green door. It's just beautiful. Is it like a Georgian style green door? It's beautiful. Where did you get that door, or like, how did you? Was it designed?
Yeah, so
was it painted?
Yeah, so we did. We got a bespoke colour done up. K&K Windows is where we got the door done, and it just got put in probably a month ago now.
It's beautiful.
And it's, oh my God, we just love it. It's definitely a Georgian style door, and we adore it. We went in, they let us pick everything we wanted, to all the trimmings if you needed it. It was a really fun experience. I didn't realise how fun door shopping could be at all. It was really, really nice. They were so easy to work with.
You're not indecisive, are you? Because I would struggle.
Do you know what?
Lovely choices.
I kind of learned to just go with something. I used to be very indecisive. Oh my gosh, to give me too many options, and it's, you know, we're never going to get there. But I don't know, with the door, it just kind of clicked. It just, I knew pieces were a definite for me, the colour, whereas Niall wanted the privacy screens in the glass on the side.
So it kind of all
and then they kind of gave us the tips on how to keep it that old Georgian Victorian kind of feel. So
it's gorgeous.
They're really,
So you did a lot of the painting yourself, you've done panelling, so you're doing all that kind of part of the house. So what's next for Potter and Byrne? Because it's really just started to really kind of grow your page. I suppose it's in its infancy, but what's exciting you about the page and meeting new people, I suppose, through your page?
Yeah, I'm loving meeting new people through the page. Even here today at Cusack Lighting, it was so nice to just see everyone, and more Irish home accounts. That was really, really nice. But I think I'm excited because we are only starting. It's definitely in its infancy stage. So I'm excited to get going. We're doing my dressing room next. That's getting more panelling. But the bathrooms are a big one. So I've been eyeing up some lights around here. I've took photos. I'm sending it back to the husband, being like, this light, this is what I want. They're getting ripped out again. Tiles, showers. I can't wait to get going on that.
Oh the bathrooms.
Again, all DIY. It'll be us going for it.
Brilliant. Yeah. So check out your page. They can check out
Potter and Byrne Home. Yeah.
Potter and Byrne Home on Instagram. Are you on TikTok yet? Are you into the little TikTok world?
There, but I haven't done anything on it. But
early days. But no, your home is beautiful, and what you've created so far, you know, is a credit to you. And I look forward to kind of seeing your journey, especially with the bathrooms. I'm doing bathrooms next, so I'll be following. But Eva,
thank you so much.
Very lovely to speak with you, and thank you for coming all the way from Wexford to join us here in Cusack's Lighting. Isn't it just beautiful? Thank you so much. So that's it. That's all we have time for from Cusack's Lighting and Interiors, Dublin Road, Cavan Town. Check them out on their Instagram page, on Facebook. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for watching, and it's goodbye from me and everyone here at Cusack's Lighting. Goodbye.